Boa I am a shebedwini sehwa kontomra Atiki from the Republic of Gambaga with love.
Me chawa nano.
Me Josumi huache.
Me ko Gambaga kakra. Gambaga fo nyina chia.
Ya jom sopa ya makwa so.
Yeah.
I won't apologize, I won't resign. Dr. Ben.
Chairman General.
Mathieu.
Ya nuya.
Boko de.
Nke ya boko zo nya boko.
Ade.
Chairman, to begin with, Mamin Chia, me soft penny, Roman ni,
And then I would
aha,
Father okay.
Rector, ya software ye train you munina, on a year penny or danwa, ye train you, anti father. We are over Timinka.
Just a father of fathers.
So what yes, yeah. The trainer of trainers. Being so papa. Being papa. It's a mani trinkwa. Na yafa akwan so achia Roman for we are singing na enkanka ne omo wanted team e was so tuum. Chairman na atada bia nipa wo ye din anka yo.
Na oma memma MP akwaba.
MP me nua half no.
Na o de unia half no me de me nua fu. Eti ma me na kwaba. Mra shebedwani sehwa kontomra Alex Tete Jonoboa e wa hanope. Alex Mache.
General Epacho mejoso.
Me hu dem hada e mo akwaba.
General ya na me ba nwumre die no na.
Cheso ne na akese na babusu. Oh yeah bad.
Sama General.
Yes sir.
Anopo die ma mfasa akonya weso. Na onse na watwimu ya hwere ni patitru miensa. Former first lady. Iti mensa. Ena afere so uso Japan no.
General.
Ni American se ya mabusuani nyina sheden. And party both NDC and MPP, especially former President Kofo.
Yeah.
Chairman General, me every safi no.
Hey, any amadi. Yamadi.
Enti busuan yi. Enti me chairman asini mu nyina ma mu nyina hyede. Na Chairman General me fasa akonya we so de ama me no. Antia me constituency for ATM from polling station to electoral area.
Sehwa kontomra for.
Council of the Patrons Dispatch Committee me DC and nana no mpemfo nyina. Na chama me na wasini adwuma pa ye de abo o man no.
Nyame ne danas.
Na menka se o mampanyini ene na be de akire alle foundation papa bi wa kontomra. Chama General ehia se esese ye bo aban na baso. Ezanse ne okwa kontomra foundation elense nya hospital. Yenya rice factory. New administration block. Yenya seki court ne infrastructure de chairman meka se aban no alle foundation papa. Aninti yebesre sɛ ɛnkyɛ ɔmampanyina bi de kyerɛ yɛbɛyɛ no frabere ama MPP no ɔbɛtoa foundation no so sɛnea Bible na aka wɔ Zechariah chapter 4 verse 9 no sɛ nsa hyɛ foundation ase no sansa na ɛsɛ yɛ de compete ɛna Philippians chapter 1 verse 6 no ɔse enyuma pa ma chance wɔ mu na sɛ me de sɛ enyuma pa na yɛ de ɛkɔ wie nti foundation ayɛ le wɔ akontomra nɛ wokɔ chairman ɛnyɛ wohwɛ yɛ kwan na first no na yɛ wɔ 66 kilometers and this year 10 yɛ ba yi yɛ de ama contract ayɛ bɛ 45 kilometers 10 na aka no aban eguso pesca de ama chana for no
nti nchiankwa ne kodu lori kwanso
se ne ye pa ekoso no chama me ma amanfo te se aban na ebi ti chama meda wasa no pe se one man opportunity mi nim ze me nkrofo no ATM nyame hiro
chama oni say Saturday ahwe obenya problem
Sami Ewuku
na hwe threshold 87 77 79
ayo wo threshold
former first lady 87 and ET means 77 and former
Felix
79
wow
87 77 79 what the over by Saturday you may speak Monday over there's a meal
ma Teresa dear no me preoccupied
obia mami
in fact me na friend the nation's mother
Bia
mami. She's the only first lady obetna so. Oye ni dwuma ko fia. Obi antimi nka say nya ne hunsem boni bia kan. Chairman and her love for the man and me kind of manner me kay nyina was unconditional. Ko fie ho ko chia omo a chairman the on peso kokra. Nti nyina we've lost a mother.
Yeah.
And mima akra yako mima ni shedin so ye nyina na mi aduma ye bekwa akobua na ye dinako bibia said no koyi na ora itimense so abeso man yi kama na ye mabusua be ne busuafo no yako NDC fo nyina ye mo shedin na me say honorable Felix also in Japan.
At
some point he was majority leader.
Yes. Majority leader, energy minister, amongst others.
You know, also, I mean, they've served their country well. And Bompire said they would find peace in the bosom of the Lord.
Amen.
And Yansu Chairman said, yes, we should be able to grow to the ages of Medri and be able to serve our country the way we are almost. I mean, they continue to be inspiration to us, the young ones said. Service to your country should be one of the things as a guy do. Because we share brow mabo. I mean, they've spent a greater deal of their lives serving this country. And I feel say it's free ho. Na yeah, me wajidi say gonna be if we continue to be inspired by the examples are almost set here.
But Sami Ewuku main cancer Dr. Chianka said it is simply a game of chance.
You've
German can say probability is about chances. But if you work probabilities, man, very close to one. From the experience of Dr.
But it sounds funny. Me tell me no be say number na to. Me say I said or say mabo.
Me car number.
So nim numbers or mabo. To whom me now say ya bo me car number dey na me medi. See me carry. Me dey medi.
Na onim say Samuel Kwankasa the car number your boy.
So who?
Na onim na adwenda ho. O si o obi aba digi. Oh no manato.
And here near witness.
No, so be number be. Also car number. O si
Chairman,
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Na anopay. And a very special day. And a World Teacher Day.
Meba. O say Samuel Kubeboka.
Mr. One here Beboka.
Numbers now boy in TBBO. Monday twemu.
Yeah.
Special draw.
Okay.
Wow.
Winning numbers. 73. 78. 75. 71.
Three difference.
74.
70, 71.
80 Monday winning numbers yeah 70 some 73, 78, 75, 71, 74. Now last 5 numbers no. 83. 79.
Hi.
53. 36. And 64.
Obi to me calculate me to mentiase or percent chinchina metiase.
Now, say Obama say Dr. Anka Yeda say 77, 79, 87. When kwa de me be gusu me da. But say Obama I don't want say o de be me da na ifi abadwada. Na eno so obedem. Na your sister me boss our numbers yi. Yes, send your horse and your kupa. Oh, yes, what sheda? Kuku numbers.
Wow,
70 column, the boy. 73, 78, 75, 71, 70. Yes, no,
no need control over number.
I'll see on you control.
No, crazy.
German,
I'll say Kofi.
One more honorable dini.
Why?
Me lawyer be
John
Mr. Kofi.
John Noboa. Happy. Yeah, always making people happy.
John
Noboa.
John Noboa.
Yeah, always making people happy.
Okay. Gadangbe. Now, Tete John Noboa de kopie den o se hwa kontomra.
Chama General, I'm sorry.
Jama una nanom ne ko na papa no.
A kontomra ho de man tran hoda. After service no na menya adwuma ekọ. And I'm going to constituency chairman over 14 years.
Really?
MPP and I'm a budget seat in 2016 and maintaining 2020.
Just a quiet man now, quiet politics.
It's a dynamic Kokrokoo as a district manager.
Oh, I see. Osei Kofi Akwa, National Youth Organizer of the CPP, said, talking about those who have passed on into glory, we, the Asante Youth Association, grieve continuously the death of Daniel Ochim Abuaje, former MP Bantama. Osei Kofi Akwa, we grieve with you as well. A few times, Ochim Abuaje sat in my studio as my guest, and I'll say this for him. Mra Okwakoye Abatuo Ewo Bantama. Even though Ochim Abuaje am a regular panelist, I publicly endorsed Bantama Asenso Kwachi against Ochim Abuaje. Now, interestingly, Omijitum.
Because usually you have this bias towards your panelists.
Yes, but I also mentioned say Asenso Kwachi also na minimum. And I support Liverpool. I cannot allow him to walk alone. So I think that's what they call Gambaga. Ye beba be Kokrokoo crowd. Oh de. Ye beba ye Kokrokoo Gambaga. It's end there no shaking.
Chairman.
Yes, sir.
If we are seeing yes, and then you World Teacher Day. Now you can simply say if you can read and write, thank a teacher.
Of course.
Chairman, you call COVID. Now parents been in mammy no me answer or no motive 2 weeks pet. Unto me,
David.
Now quite hard, you don't say quite hard. Only the most difficult level to teach. Sit down or say I won't sit down. Obende. Chairman will be all in life. What chira a human ding. Now, say, would you not hold now what chira dear? Tell you, Chairman, and said that, yeah, say, well, we any assessment, you know. Wouldn't so be market as many as 1,200 scripts.
Wow.
Nipa bako. Now, a human ding. Unfortunately, no, near Yenyano does not commensurate a human yeno. Oko kan so teacher ni wakatua wo so chairman na jokingly me bisa say teacher ni a wan kosoro no obenya na katua we he enti ewiase nyina tada bia na nya sika nko ye wa kurase na teacher ni obi parent bi kɔ fom no ba o se body a de kakra ma teacher ahira de kakra ma teacher oh enti baby a teacher ni wo bia no pay o kai wo teacher na o frɛ ne dana se oh enam so na mama du baby a madui teacher ni you have made an impact in my life chama ye teacher for sabi ye movie nka ye ninam hen enti let's appreciate the teacher more. And that we are celebrating teachers, but me can't to say, what teacher ni be obefum or continue or be one shedda now be BC ni akwa attack teacher ni ya bono ye pranin sanya mano. Umi ye essence jumano the teaching is a call. No bia no betu mi achira de. Me first akwa ye so say obi a wo nim say adwuma na wo ye eni wo mu. Chama obi to me chira de one class na nipa be half ada. Onya adwuma nyenti no kwa ye teacher. Enye na juma no na say wo juma wo ye with passion wo ye wo de me hu the zeal out the year juma no kra wo ye ma wan ka say won say wani je juma wo ye no be shia titi no teacher ni headmaster red pension bottom black pension bottom
and a blue pen red black and blue
secretaries are na wo insori nyina teacher for people so letter teachers have done our part. Because I am professionally trained a teacher. Enti me bo teacher fo nyina baso adwuma amoye no nyame ani so.
Amen.
Na omo fam nsem so omo ani so. As o man no at the appropriate time no, let's recognize. Meaning say ye National Teachers Day edu ba bia ye mom awards ni ade. Yen trim ni ama teacher for do na omo hare omo kakra teacher for to me sit down teacher need to me pass as enti obi amwa senya aban po na institutions no corporate award no omo nyina be keka mo abom na afibia me won so tumfo so ye bi na ya say teacher for in a particular area kakra bi e be ye mo hare omo yenye adwuma na edin
Mate medase na empacho se hwa kontomra MP obi din kraba se moni adwuma na mum ka kire omampanyin se foundation wo le no yenfa chips compounds enka ho na wankasa nso no he should be encouraged to visit chips compounds in his district and in his constituency. It is very, very important. It won't cry no. Na se gadus edini dia bayaya. Or say Lotto is indeed a game of chance. Chairman General, on the day NLA launched the Sunday Asida draw, I was sitting right there in the Brennan Hall when Acrobeto called the winning numbers that included my birthday. I showed my driver's license to a colleague. He stared at me and started insulting me that I was simply not correct. Chairman General, I was so angry I walked out of the Brennan Hall. Say Gadus. Just what you want. Your born birthday. I winning numbers. Says birthday crowd with me and fine.
A game of chance.
A game of chance. Now, minim say sorry, Dr. Ben Nekaso Peso Tisim Doc. My main court demonstration. Occupy BOG. Emun sem. And then you free mobile watchman be mu onye ebe mu epacho ene emunsem bibre na eno achire yenya report bi say publication bi ana online be the central banking maintain that ejaminya bank enti bi ana omodwuma maintain that but almost say governor can say enya dia odin adwuma ebeto ho na as a demonstration no, it was completely unnecessary or GD say NDC for enim kwanya ye fasudi governor e free baby ote na enye demonstration eche no borofu bi be mu esi hooligans. That is according to the report. Say I'm independently having confirmed the website, but another story at that home. Na protest near Munsem. Dr. Ben, minu fiase.
Chairman Medasi, my main chair for.
Yeah, Josu.
Chairman demonstration there. Anka e idea sebi ensesenko bia kora e kasetia. Se o hye nipa so ha du ba bia na oye ebedu ba bi no ahwa na ebefe ni mu aba na enye papa. Na mu wugya nipa na okana se chama unso obi etoda bi kora na nipa bi e kontokwa. Na obi bufu pa na ye hye menkasa unso wato wa hwe ofa de o pra nipa. na wo gya no kasa do ba bia o say wo jam nti demonstration there enkanka ne say anka wo call demonstration chama ya ante se obi mowere etui ya ante se obi tia dadoa so ye bo police fo aba so organizers no omo organize demonstration ye bo ma ba so that's why they say answer no mbeko no na misunderstanding kakra o ha ne ye court ye we ni nyina kanfu ano omo ko demonstration ma eye pepepe ya abjobreo ne mun nsem a epiepie na brofokasa we be ka say unfortunate ekoba ne say no obi to me bie na no me to me I can't repeat it.
You don't have to.
Member of parliament member of parliament or he does not qualify, he does not deserve to be called honorable.
Ade.
So to me bien no sabi edi attempts e can vulgar words or public. Oh come on.
Wapacho.
Say chairman and you say yo edu ba bia nka obi anso nka me wi ani apacho. Because position now wom no eye entity dey say honorable member. And says nko kasasa ogu ne ho fi na ono he must bow his head in shame. Say a whole member of parliament kasa tan yet say anko bi na kan ya chairman banank your friend privileges committee me boa. So bi na kan sa fa ne ho. You don't talk like this about another group. Politics of insult. Mwakwa kudu I say you are being vulgar. It's a shame. I feel so ashamed. They say otumi tena ho gina ho kan sanse hunu ensem tan te say obi a so pacho. And you say chama na obi a obokro no bia so pacho ni enyan ne.
Inji zinke be ende so pacho.
Nya dia e de hunu na obi so ko bie na no say omosuma watchman. From my last check I did. Such a person you say oya watchman. He was called to the bar 2007. Sometime na nipa no offend watchman no ye adwuma be. Me sure say no wie school. No wie school. Ya hwe ano kasa yie kakra.
Na watchman no Air Force officer for 26 years.
Come on. Chairman, who did bibia san to chairman?
Rising to the rank of a wing commander.
Wing commander. Our friend say ya small watchman. Say he wanted to be derogatory. Me boa derogatory say o kan gun hu fi aka say sabi ni patanta mi. Chairman, adwuma a woti a wo and I know say me mean to me nye and I should not pretend. Obi ani na adwuma o. Ofi say si nyina ye a hoster anka hwa na ba betena hakasa. Si nyina ye governor, si nyina ye MP sa. Wono obi ani na adwuma, obi ani ne ko. Enti ye nhwe ye hu ye ne ye hwe ya no kasa ye kakra. Enkanka ne sebi ye kodu ba bia na ye gu nipa hu fi ye hu om say they are less of a person. There be o. Your position you don't possess it. Possession is not possession. And even there are things that sometimes you are in possession, but you are not the owner. Obi akonya woteso no obi betena so. Na say is it coincidental?
Watchman na by say you fa petition amano.
Chairman nia wo ukodi na konya no na sebi on no wafiri mu yo. Da ko ye nyina e beja hɔ akɔ. Wo kwa e bebisa say what will you be remembered for? Say wo de na wano ya pa. We are the papa.
Obisi, I agree with Dr. Benochi Ankra. Apology, so what? It cannot just be erased from people's minds. There you are discussing it after the apology. We should all watch our words. George from Rich. Pacho Twaso.
Enti Omanka say na obia chema etedabia you say even the Bible says it. Say when a fool keeps quiet, he's considered to be wise. Nanka governor obianim say oh papa we is a gentleman, fine gentleman. He is described. A kofban is saying on so what to tum say hooligans. And now one went
sa particular word no with the yentwaso. E bisu pa che say enye sa no kan but me share the exact but for now I grant it.
I wish you say no one cancer
audio. What I'm saying is I'm looking for audio.
Okay.
Oh okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The caveat says all cancer.
So because
at least omo nim ni say papa on tisa enti so cancer dia ene ono so meya ni sosu eye bi me mfre no ono abu sosu oh come on me mfre no he does not deserve it. Honorable is not a title.
No.
It is not.
Actually, on Mankasana, I'm the genesis of honorable. Only said it is supposed to be used. It's supposed to be used on the floor.
Yes.
And between or amongst them. As I say, now lawyer any friend I done for my learned friend. But a go for friend one found up and
say I am passe o governor o can sadia any o me patcho because one can say am padia. Now I think now we better say omu okwan say nko be free about parliament. You can't deny the people say or no a coin of us or register the displeasure so be called demonstration. There's nothing wrong about it. They have other things they could have done. One of which is a make demonstration. So also make demonstration normal kokania how much. There's nothing wrong. We better describe you say here to travel for no
Governor Pacho. And also
or Pacho or I wish he did not go that tangent.
Yeah.
So can say one can say name mum ni nyina chi o to me can say anka meet me a friend in parliament. Anka wo jane sa anka ye but o chaba o go di obi yes wo di once na ho bufu a e na wo biri ukuro. Tell bia na nya bibia obeti bia na we don't listen to respond. We listen to understand. It is anka wutie nipa no na say ni omo kan e bia aba wom ana bibi kwan ya fa so aye kekere o ma adwene to anya nipa ba ko me ba ha me be kan kidney dialysis asemi we ha kwa the next day meeting obi ma suggest say anka be ya anka ya national health insurance empa na me say wow I like this suggestion ye nyina ye to adwene to solve a problem and he say obi kire na adwene wo kwan bi so they say be frɛ wo parliament o ya mfrɛ wo kwan o nsɛm o mo ka no tie bibi wo ha wo ya enya no watwe ho afi ho ni a wo fi say wo ya eye papa na enkanka ni say you got all the approvals, you've gone through all the processes ni ade na wo nya boni bia sometimes anka wo ye din anka ye enti demonstration there to begin with me say organizers no any police for ni nyina o ma ya de e bo ma ba so ya antise obi ya ho tin ye dem mo e kire asem ne nsem a e ba no e na enye going forward no enkanka Bible say tama miswa na me ye me niam say abofra minyi ye no me ye me niam say pani enti obeye member of parliament ka hu say o level na sisa me be grasa president University of Ghana ya obabi afro bush canteen me nam kwan so meja me sika sam nya me koto aduane na me si a registrar no so ko na me so say me koto aduane o si dabi grasa president ana wo beto aduane o bush canteen anka tra ho na sumo bia na say me sumo bia nipa na osoma no is a man working fee oh is all tape na kakra me so me sika na new level me mate be ye wo even at that level grasa president you see baby o hwan say me kotena ko you be a member of parliament o level na kosoro so enti yenhwe ye niam yiye kakra
quick ones obi abrante bia yene na edi agro ha afi msaka na kakra na obedi 40 your friend Collins Adomako Mensa Mrashe Bedweni Efija Kwabre North ne nickname me de friend Honorable Rasta o se men kan chiro say ono ne Honorable no friend ya guru o se obre answer no nya title eti offend ya guru. But another one also here this morning obi se men kan chiro say bia na there's actually a National Teachers Award Day, which is ongoing right now in Takoradi in the Western region to commemorate the World Teacher Day. Okay, yeah, that's it. I
was a teacher in a ghetto blast. You see,
last year,
last year, ghetto blast and the fan standing fan this animal. There should be an opportunity. Oh, be we winning. There should be an opportunity scholarship baby for the parents to go to school and IBB. But
for the past 3 years or more,
but
Anka, inside say nipa millions have been your money per 100.
It will be different awards. Everywhere in your down way. I mean, anyway.
Obisu say or no, I don't want to appear political or sounded, but what the gentleman in your studio said is symptomatic of some of the people of NDC. Knowing the history of the NDC, the governor was right in refusing to appear to collect the petition. But I must say that he could have sent the secretary to the bank, because letters to the bank are usually sent via the secretary, Kwabena Sapong of the NPP. Gideon Kwame Tene. Okay, Gideon Kwame Tene, thank you very much for the information on the National Teacher Awards. Thank you. And then Obi say, Chairman General, the watchman people are talking about is actually my brother. He's my brother from my father's side. This life.
Wing commander.
Hey. And then Kwame. I know Kwame Asare very well. He is a lawyer who's been practicing for a long time. Today they say he's a watchman. And yes, it is life. Kwame Amua says that one. Hey. Atik, tell me something. Yanko watchman any governance near there.
Yeah. Chairman, I don't even want to glorify that comment with any discussion and comment. Because sebi nipa na offer papa no watchman no. Let's place the profiles of the two on the table and do an analysis. You come to the conclusion say sebi the accuser rather fits the position now. Or the accused. No, to me, I don't even want to glorify. And it appears a idea or tie. Okay, I had a run with him some time ago.
Oh, really?
Chairman. Oh, I'm sure a chief will be Bekayo. It was fun for me, but it was bloody. But it was fun for me.
Van down, no.
Oh yes, Chairman. And the idea or tie, and I think it's about time he learned from the feedback when he says some of these things. I mean, you can express your views. If you disagree with representative now or Suma, there's different ways you could say it. Message would go across, and insults are by watchman, trying to deride him and all of that. I think and more so, being a representative of the people of your constituency is a big deal.
Very big deal.
What you say? It's not for nothing. You're frame honorable, no. Because you're supposed to live exemplary lives. Na muye nyoma nem ensem fatadia kakra. And I know of a few who have evolved.
Yes.
Ashazi and Chairman, they had very,
watchman-like conversations.
Exactly, but they've evolved over the years. And now you didn't come. You want to listen to the person's view because the person presents serious arguments. And the rest of
why mature?
Yes. But the people are stuck. They have stagnated. They don't want to grow. They don't want to evolve.
As they say, growing old is mandatory.
Yeah.
But growing older is optional.
I like that.
Growing old is mandatory.
Yeah, I mean,
but growing older is optional.
Yeah, you can anyway. Obi mu choose. Obi na can ask them say you. Saying it would virtually mean say I'm repeating the nipa kan no.
And empathy.
Ezi nkwala bia to de bia ye tia omo no omo su timinyi ebe pinyimfo. What you say? I don't want to say. I mean, person me describe them, but I think we need to learn. We grow every day. Until you drop and we need to debrief ourselves. Now you be saying who say, over the last 5 years, going forward, then you learn from that and grow. Having said that, Mamisha is here in free. The claims are demonstrators in the core. Then I'll come to the rather disappointing comments by the governor. No, but Mamisha is in free. The claims the demonstrators made. Chairman, I found some of the claims they made as the basis are on person so to call for the resignation of the governor. No, ridiculous. and I'm not mincing my words on that. Niedi almost say the sorry state of yen. Currency, is attributable to the actions of the governor, and for which reason they say, ordinary Jumato. Chairman said, who said, and now what has he done, and now what have the governors done to result in or to cause the declining strength of the city? If you look at how exchange rates are determined, Untimi first one embo central bank for nko. And as a matter of fact, we shared yen present situation, and I'm not speaking generally about the principles of exchange rate determination. Mika specific to yen context. Untimi first one embo central bank for. You see, the problem we have right now, and I'm talking about the higher exchange rates now, the performance of our currency against other major currencies, is a function of supply side constraint.
But what is that dollar and also on the international market is starting to grow stronger?
And you see, and it even makes it worse for us. International can say it's a supply side problem. Supply side is that when you go to any market, usually it is the forces of demand and supply that determine the price. And you buy forex market, so it's the same thing. And if you are having a constraint on your supply, and at the supply side of the forex market is struggling now, just say sikana forex no. Meanwhile, the demand on the forex is growing. Your transactions are dollar denominated. Uko energy sector is, for example, almost all the transactions in the energy sector are dollar denominated.
Yeah.
Electricity Company of Ghana, omu transformers they pay in dollars. Nyomu ko amanoni ko kran they pay in dollars. Our currency is inconvertible. Until which means that beyond your insurance, sebi. Untimi mfan di dwa mani ye. Until you need a vehicle currency to be able to do your transactions internationally. But essence said, the inflow of forex ain't enough to meet the demand. There will be a problem with the exchange rate. And see, Ghana, we are exporting less than we should. And that's why we talk about transformation of our economy and the rest of it. Because once you move your economy from just the export of raw materials to adding value to your products, and it gives you more foreign earnings and our foreign exchange. Until you would have a lot of forex in your system, now the exchange rate will be lower. But I say, can say, Niama na yo says no, and they say we are coming from, a turbulent period. So COVID period, it affected production, it affected exports, and the rest of it. And I also make the point there, and I've made this point severally. Your Ministry of Finance, Omukobo Bisiama, and also be mini ye con, ave ye until Sikaka Krabiba. Says Central Bank for Mrs. Central Bank, Ministry of Finance, Ekotio Mukano, and Kana Omutiano. Usually these are loans that are contracted in forex. International loans are contracted in dollars mostly. Until musu dollars kakrana ewo system no akotua sakano. Until you cannot say all these factors central banks doing. There be the fact say we are importing more and exporting less. Is that the doing of the central bank? There be. So once you have a balance of payment deficit, it results in higher demand for, you have lower foreign inflows and foreign exchange inflows, and at the end of the day, your exchange rate is going to suffer. The same way, you service your loans in dollars. Until certainly there's going to be a further constraint on the supply side of forex. Until at the end of the day, the exchange rate is going to go up, which means your CD or your currency is going to get weaker. Where central bank, and I mean, what role have they played in this? They also made the point there, central bank of printi sika gumu Mancrofu Chesikano and Yemi time cran is they says it can be an idea masses at the pan or their question. Can you imagine this? Somebody actually said it.
Oh, really?
I'm not kidding, Chairman.
I'm not even joking.
No,
David. You can pray back his speech.
No, wait a minute here.
Chairman, to force guy.
Or today?
Or since you can Central Bank Tregumo and Nubin idea masses at the pan or their question. Can you imagine this? And that this forms the basis. Call for the resignation of the governor. Where would you say?
And I'm afraid say
Beshi,
no chairman. That spirit we need to cast it out from this country.
We will have to call lawyer Ni Aikwe Utu.
In fact, to summon that spirit.
To summon the spirit to the Supreme Court.
Yes, and order it to disappear
disappear from
Chairman,
I see. Maintain mum.
Oh, okay. Chairman, you kept printing of money now. They made it look as if say central bank had the machine see how much just boom 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 the man. That's not how it works. We see you kept printing of money. We are simply talking about central bank financing of government. Until and Canino, there were no limits as to how much central bank beat me this ama buying. Until nas bank to me lend this ma buying beyond a certain level. But you say idea a hardening it creates inflationary pressures and other effects. Until you the mrabi by say you can't. The central bank cannot finance government beyond 10% of the previous year's revenue. And later it was reviewed to 5%.
Yeah.
And the financing of government, is what they refer to as the printing of money, And yes, the machine is here. You see, they made it sound as if say the central bank is doing what Zimbabwe did. Say they can't pay workers until yenche can name from Kutia. Yentimin and Tonkunya Sikanabra and Fangotu. Once you do that, you create idea every hyperinflation.
Yeah.
Who got to idea 1 CD? Says here in the next 1 hour, I bet 2 cities because of such situation. But that's not what we are doing now. Is just support of the central bank to government. That is what they are referring to as the
now. Train. At Forsen,
yeah,
or a chartered accountant, or a PhD in finance,
okay,
or a former deputy finance minister,
yes,
or a former board member, Bank of Ghana.
Yes.
Are you saying you are okay or no name?
Chairman, I'm unable to speak to that.
No, I'm asking you because Sabi se Oshe Atu Forsena Nijina Bia. Sabi Kokrokoo Wabeka, he's not a small person sitting down. Onyeni paketwa. So Kakreya Maboy,
yeah,
he's in a position of knowledge and experience. And you can't tell me say you know better than him and answer what you're saying he doesn't know.
Chairman, I'm unable to speak to that. Because Nyawake so if he says, and he said it publicly, Chairman, into Sabi
say this kind of Sicilia Dapa.
I say yes, can be and no idea man or their question.
Oh, maybe I no beshi kakra.
The most popular name in Ghana.
You see this impression say ye Chesike Gumuno. Or you use the way ye chegum. What does that mean? Chairman, ye Chesike Guma and say Central Bank will not have a negative equity position. Because if they have the capacity to chase Guma, some going to up their assets. But because Yenyan until Bank of Ghana can have a negative equity position. What is here? Near Bank of Ghana, say when they reviewed the threshold of financing to government, beyond the 5%, which is allowable by law.
But say, Omuko Parliament too.
And I mean, Ufa Bank of Ghana Act now, Section 30, subsection 6 tells you say, in emergency situations, the Bank of Ghana has the opportunity to review that threshold upward. And the condition now, the condition precedent, it has to be a function of a negotiation amongst the central bank, the Ministry of Finance, and the Controller and Accountant General. And the job of the central bank, on person reviewing upward, and it's a free meeting amongst these 3 institutions and decide on the level and on the rate. And it's increasing 10%, 15%, whatever. There has to be a meeting. Meeting it is the Minister for Finance who then reports to Parliament say there has been an upward review of the threshold because of this emergency situation. And yes, central bank Juma to go and report to Parliament. And the Onukra is one bono say Ada one Parliament for approval. They are in fact Mranen say when they do the review, they should come to Parliament for approval. The Mranen say after the review, the Minister for Finance should report to Parliament. It does not say should report to Parliament for approval. There be in any event, any central bank for a report, it is the Minister for Finance. And if they have reviewed it as is permissible under the law, now Omodi Sikanoma buying to solve a certain problem. I then Omodi Subono say no or print Sikagum to create the impression say Sika machine be why ye trace Sikanu ya chairman crofo and a Sicilian Tapanya and Afimudian on the question and passing. Now beyond that, so I've also heard all the arguments say central bank the negative winner losses now You see, they are confusing debt, say, with the losses. So, Omako Boka, Chese Omako Bob Kabia, Yambo Bida, as if say they did a risky investment in a kaba. And yes, what they did, they say, and German, who kind the Bank of Ghana Act? It tells you, say, one of the obligations of the bank, they say, they ought to contribute to economic development. That's one of the objects. Now, Chairman, you can economic development now. And you say Bank of Ghana, Eti Omo baby, now Minister for Finance and Minister of Finance, with the threat say ya or mine be a sick semono, a begu. Now Omako Tron baby say we are autonomous yen young hushi. Yes, Anna, you are even betraying the very provisions of the act that sets you up. Now, baby, Yesika Sem Kodru, and that's why we even sought the intervention of IMF in the first place. But IMF forecast said, look, baby, I'm way even to grant you a program, a bedding, a samutimi bufform kakra, so we can meet you halfway. And Nina was the debt situation na yekan huasemano. And one of the ways to help was to buy non-marketable bonds. Now Ministry for Finance was floating, and Mika COVID relief bonds no. Omutoye. And these are not bonds you can trade in the secondary markets. Until Omutoye no. When the DDP, the domestic debt exchange program no, just like everybody else, Central Bank bought the bonds, and these are not bonds they could trade anywhere else. If you wait, I can say we can sell our bonds to another private person, another third party. Well, then let the person take the risk. They couldn't. And it affected them too, and it resulted in losses. And now affecting equity position, no. And our losses now. And sometimes when you accumulate losses, it affects your equity position. It results in negative equity position. And now Central Bank, in case our losses no. Now
I think Banapo.
And if they've incurred these losses, and yes, Sebi, Chairman, they intentionally went to do some investment bond buying of the bonds was to solve a certain problem. Omanya, Anka Chairman, yet kasi Minya Shosanka would even have the peace to do this discussion. Because Sri Lanka, Oman Timino, it resulted in a revolution.
Yeah.
But Central Bank, Eka said, we have enough buffers. I say, you. And it's almost sorry, Preocupe. Minister for Finance is saying, say, until they will sell to us COVID relief bonds in Tiankoto. They looked at Omo buffers. When I'm saying, look, you towe kra na, at least, Bibiba, we are resilient enough to recover. What is here? And they had a conversation with even IMF. And the IMF gave them the assurance, say, our analysis of your buffers, no, and say, muto bonds now, the bank will not be badly affected. And the DDP in the buy, nobody anticipated it. But the bank is saying, say, even though we've incurred losses, and this is not the first time the Central Bank has incurred losses. So I said, yes, this is not the first time. Even though we incurred losses, no, but we have the tendency to recover.
Are you saying the demonstration was not necessary?
Chairman, I would not say it wasn't necessary. No demonstration is unnecessary. But the message I would echo was ridiculous and misplaced. You are seeking the resignation of a governor over Nyoma who can basis now who can and so exchange rate and they are not the reason why our currency is not performing well. They are not. Claim is that they printed money and you know correct. Say you chase can boom na ya chama e bim grandi omo dia kwoshem pass and you know correct. And the fact soon say they did not do it illegally. Chairman mramo kwan say ye way in an emergency situation and you've taken advantage of the law to do that which would help rescue the economy. Obi say because you helped the Minister for Finance to rescue the economy in T and so Kofi. Chairman and you see they claim say there's a breach. Nobody's able to tell us which part of the law they've breached. And Amika said, Chairman, Obi breach law, even a ediko. And you go to court to vindicate claims. Nobody saying say Miko Koto. Near Omo can say resign because we feel we've breached the law. Which law has he breached? And has the bank breached?
The law on hooliganism.
What you say?
Me to be this question.
Bisa.
Say in Chirimo all men fantastic. Bank of Ghana or more public relations.
Oh, Dr. Ben.
I think they are working
na
on it.
Urefi said,
No.
you can't 32 be who has some. And I'm saying 2 no. 2 no. Saying come 32 million almost some media when.
Yeah.
Would they 2 now or so? And come to my Kokrokoo. Oh,
you do a better
na
job.
kakra bitchimi minimum. And can a Juma Atiki no pay? Oh, he should be the watchman for public affairs.
Me hear from another angle.
Yeah.
Say yes, can you do your mocha?
No, I think my understanding is that they are working on their PR department. That's my understanding. Meaning, if that is true.
Okay, sir. Anyway, I don't want to say, but na Rebu or AC Hammond. Unfortunately, well, when can unfortunately, say what call retirement?
There has to be a replacement.
It's minimum no replacement. Say.
I think no, and you know, an institution. You see, Chairman, one was there for a very long time.
London hooliganism. I mean,
the central bank for a very long time has been immune from public scrutiny. They became too comfortable. That's why they didn't feel the need to even find a replacement quickly enough. Otherwise,
or bring us the 2.
What I said, now,
hey, dog, 2 now here.
On an issue as critical as this, Obingo Kasa, Director of Finance, Chairman, Onusube Semu Bruta, Onukraka,
Are they?
He's an accountant.
Into the technicalities.
Chairman, na afe soon, Ankoye, what is here? And when we, and even though me say the issues of the demonstration no are misplaced and the call for its execution no like it's not grounded well. And indeed, media, what I keep saying is that if it is responses you need, have an engagement with the bank. How do you get the responses to the questions you claim you have?
Are you sure they are looking for responses?
And if that is what you are looking for. And the ways I said it elsewhere, this is about the pursuit of self-interest more than the collective good. Because if indeed the pursuit of the collective good, Chairman, you create an opportunity to make sure say you have an engagement with the governor. Demonstration make sure you hand over the petition to him, and he'll give you responses. But Mudruho, he respected you enough. That's why I'm disappointed in his latest comments. And Ramika said, it's a show of humility and regard for the parliamentary group and indeed all demonstrators. Say, Obesumo be say on receive petition. Chairman, me my demonstration from Lagos na besine. And then I said, you
are older.
I should think so. Chairman, one of the demonstrations na Professor Mills Nechuso. Yekoye Osuma ni Lantevandapoy say on beji petition no. Chairman, we did not have issues with it because him say anyano 2 min odi ba e obi na Sumano and nipa na Osumano, he's the target. He respected us enough to say me Suma obia manipa na beji petition no. We handed it over to Neil Lantevandapoy and Odikoye. Until what is different about we say chinchina nipa na mo pese mo di petition man no onu amba mo fa petition no emma ne how do you say representative?
No general name.
No general name no. And you see him Yan said, Sebi, he did not just appoint anybody at all. Somebody of a higher standing in the bank.
Director.
Safety and security chairman and yeah adikit kuma.
Nope.
And you feel that Nipano is not fit enough to receive a petition on behalf of the governor. And the Anka why I swear. I've a mood didn't attempt. So a watchman. Sebi chairman. Yeah, bravo. Any dibia ekitano no. What did you do in Crofuni Bebriana or friend you know say look the gulf is very huge. But Nyamika editor to one say Chairman, you want to sack me from my job. And you have the audacity of it to come and tell me say Mia you are asking me to leave my job. And he says that if I don't come to receive the letter that is asking me to leave my job, no. What be that? And if I were in his shoes, he had the option to ignore them. Say me sumo biampo. Because he's not obliged to come and receive your petition. But I said, sir, it's a sign of humility, sir, and regard for the demonstrators. Say obesumo bi amani pana beji. But also me born abaso come and say we ya also see omo hooligan. And I'm really disappointed.
I think we'll come to that. My main call around them,
and chairman, where the if indeed he said so,
he should apologize.
He needs to apologize.
You mean he should do a susu?
He should come and apologize.
Right, I'll come to it very shortly. But Obi, I'll about correction. So make I say Ato Forsen has a PhD in finance. But apparently, yes, the PhD is in business management. Awarded by the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology.
There's a huge difference between a PhD in finance.
I've been corrected. Yeah. So, Mpacho, let me also do a sosu. That make us say a PhD in finance, but no. I've been corrected to say a PhD in business management awarded by KNUST. That is where I'll put it. Now, me mami be ende in his 60th birthday. Minya Penyini, Mrs. Gladys Achia Abuaje. Happy 60th birthday to you, Mrs. Gladys Achia Abuaje. God bless you richly. Love from your husband, your children, St. Monica's Old Girls Association, and also from Esther Documents, wishing Mrs. Gladys Achia Abuaje happy 60th with God's blessings. MPS now, a few messages in Pacho and idiom. Have we forgotten that the law on the Bank of Ghana 5% financing was suspended by the same parliament during the COVID days? Papa Intakwa is asking. Kwame, one's current position in the society must rhyme with one's behavior and utterances. That is what makes us refer to some of them as honorable. Kumale in Kumasi. Please ask for me. During the NDC period, when over 51 million cedis was paid to Alfred Agbeshi-Woyome and others, did we ask the Minister of the Bank of Ghana governor to resign? Papa Intakrade. Tell Dr. Bernard Triankra that the organizers of the demonstration cannot be commended or applauded when they use vulgar and unhonorable sentences. Those utterances have tarnished the image and efforts of the organizers. Francis Brakwa in Kumasi. Eja Kwabena in Corona, Queens, New York. If an honorable MP spews out such unprintable words at the governor, what do you expect the governor to respond to him?
No.
Do you remember the saying, violence begets violence? And then I once said Atik Mohammed should become the PRO for the Bank of Ghana. But this morning, he has gone past it and actually educated me. Chosa in Taifa. Atik, the Eba Central Banker, he has such a soft spot. We won't be that. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if the governor used the word hooligans after he watched the video of what the MP said and what Sam George and the others said. He probably said they were hooligans after watching the viral video of Susu. Nana Kwesi Esiedu in Techiman. I don't see the need for anybody to engage in a demonstration like Occupy BOG. The demonstrators led by the NDC have been mischievous all along. I was, however, disappointed when Atik Mohammed failed to appear on a program on UTV hosted by Jack Wabna yesterday. Because Atik has explained it very well this morning. Ata Eduse Ofwase Kokobeng. Kwame, is Francis Susu a reverend minister? Say Obama, I don't know. I'm not in a position to say so. Minim says yourself for there. So
what was it? What dinner?
I say I got that boy. Besides me say also fana. And I'm saying I don't know.
At some point I suspect he was. Well, maybe you're also full.
Obisu asked him say, by the way, Sam George is also an elder of Perez Chapel. Right. Okay, I leave it there. MPs as ministers of the Bible and elders. Kwame, how can anybody ask for your resignation from Peace FM when you are not appointed by that person? The minority's action is not understandable. This animal farm resignation should be killed to save people. Animal farm resignation. Animal farm resignation. Hey, I'm for. Then there was one that I wanted to read out to take some pine the bako by say Ayeremuaha. And let's see if there's another. Some pine the bako by and Akwabna upon the back. Some pine says I took forcing nose papa. He's just doing propaganda, being go kill him. And then Kwame Atufosi knows he's just justifying his position in the NDC Kwabena Sapom. Maminti Honorable Anopay. This one says
30 seconds now. Answer no. Chema, when him say another Ibia Okokan and say or say the Bank of Ghana governors, you know, or more called Gugu banks because of financial sector cleanup. And if I were in his position,
Atufosin said that.
Oh, he said it.
Okay.
Chairman, he was a member of the board when the banks were going down. And we amended the law to give liquidity injections to banks that were not doing well. And you see, and Niamrane can say, you give the support to banks that are illiquid but solvent. And there's a difference. Illiquid, he said, they don't have liquidity. But solvent, he said, they have access enough to be able to take care of their debt obligations. But Sikanu, ya kochema banks that were even insolvent. And Muna Mutina ho, ehun se banks eco form, and one and you went to amend the law to allow for liquidity injections. Sikanu zwa ye chairman Krofo Mohamudi achi alege. And Obiaba, I have my views about how the cleanup was done. It could be better because there were some local banks that could be saved. But nevertheless, there was the need for a cleanup. Until you've created a mess, somebody has come to clean it up, and now that is a basis say Nipanokofie. And why who can say now what hobby who can hobby? Sikana ya chedi ya chi alege no now who can hobby?
Dia ni achi alege no.
Chama achi alege dia e for me boa You see, there's this saying in Hausa, achi aragi.
Okay.
But as antifolk can achi alegi.
Chama jana me dasi biom. Say obi send the message say I am visit me cheap compounds. Last week me call rounds sky cry me nya free health insurance and SIF no makwa achicha ma cheap compounds ni bi ma de year adwuma. Nti e bia na oni constituency ho. Me one type of MP me call rounds pa ehwe me mpeso aso ne yeko. Chama jana anopo di em say near kono minion me no MPC ama doctor ne atik se no mwesi aye wa ha de na nya agro nyina na se ya no na akoye kali amai isanze se we a member of parliament se o kasa emu no o hwe ne yi and chama bible no Quran ya na etu yavu bebre and openyina je kumtem bia o kan Proverbs chapter 29 verse 20 now. Or it think before you speak. Make sure you know what you are talking about before sounding off. And it say oko kasa public na Madina MP in some oko kan ya mpese be repeat. Me wa wo yire ne man so wo wo abusia. And at the end of the day in some oko kan no waka e de ato asamba say obe pacho. I don't think say a fata say as a member of parliament and into your best say yeah public figures ya kasa ya nhwe ni yi and Ecclesiastes chapter 7:16 etu ya fu bebre so we wadwun say you are over wiser we ya wa no kasa no beko akan wi no na san say opoto and into ye mfa safutu no na nhwe ni yi bible ni tu ya fu say chama agenda say obi a oye panyini bia no what is so be or yakwala awesome until Luke chapter 22:26 in can say somfo a as I say we want is akwala awesome
Reverend Akontomra
and we shouldn't take it as members of parliament in Tino sabi ye bitimi agina bia akansem chama jana we demonstration on mokoye na constitution e makwan say obi a bitimi express any view e wo kwan bia so yensi ni kwan and senior doctor kan no na ye beda nyame ase se omokoye no basa ibia anye de ansi
ama
na chama jana wo Bank of Ghana omoko mandate na osi formulating and implementing monetary policy to achieve price stability, contribute to the promotion and maintenance of financial stability and ensure a sound payment system. Me bra atik akansem ni bebre and ye mi say ho say ni Bank of Ghana for no eboaye ma yezikasem ekoyiye kakra no boni ana semra no ema kwan parliament ya na ya se samra na I don't think say Bank of Ghana governor and 2 deputies no omafum rebia na chama jana fa say Bank of Ghana anya saade we amo aban na obeti say ene ya ye celebrate ye teachers yi ye ntimi antuaka awo kurumu abai bosomi ade na bisi
nka chi alege
and I don't think sebio wo sika bi da baby na buzion penyin wo buzion mu yale a o se me kobo buzion se me kopɛ sika no wo baby abra wo sika ni bi da on pass and tonight things near Bank of Ghana aye no why dia save on mine no because senior ateke ka no baby bebre na kwa hochiri mu a na omuntimi entuo mo workers ka na omuntimi nyede enya duro kura no emfa ma yarefo but the Bank of Ghana e wo sa sika ne da baby na odi abo aban no se na be ya enema be koyie na senior demonstrators including MPs here koyi chama jena man tise kurum ha obi aka se sa ahonchiri ba nyina ye ntua nka obi ama abonte ama mekan o se ahonchiri aba no Bank of Ghana yes ade no ye de ye pay ye nye anaze ma ye ntua nka ye nyina ye tua nka se na be ya ye betimi edi bia ye den ahwe ye busuafo and senior chama jena take ni Dr. Kan no ye be sere governor no so se sometimes no senior mekan no we panyina otim sem bia na wode ato baby but chama agenda onim say parliament committees are one year ahoden pa o
papa
okay article 103 clause 6 na any standing order the year juma e parliament 155 na chama ma committees na ahoden ma say obi you invite no na wa ma anase why na adwene say wa ma chama with the permission was say article 103 clause 6 no me pamcho mamin kan ka was a committee appointed under this article shall have the powers, right and privilege of the High Court or a justice of the High Court at a trial, enforcing the attendance of witness and examine them on oath, affirmation or otherwise, compelling the production of documents and issuing a commission or request to examine witness abroad. And it is a officer Bank of Ghana and now say governor nene paying fire bonibia. Chairman, I don't think say I mean MPs Dr. Aton Forsen finance committee who in parliament I invited Bank of Ghana and say Minister of Finance say ade we am my no ye ntiase and nti momra na mmetrichiri nchire Ghana for ne and at the end of the day no say we exhaust to sade na wie na ntiase anya adwuma na obeye yi a I feel say near corner the chairman ye besre because any wo kan ye wo mamu ha and na wo dollar accounts Hina to force in time as a board member for Bank of Ghana, Deputy Finance Minister. Now won't mean koyede, enko use akura every bank. And in no not a board on the Zubi. Send I take a can. Banks are not air co form near ya, or can want some near you know. I don't know the day no ye misa say, or more time on net to say. And near Yanis will be your nimdi, will be your doctor. Now ultimate hem a Mike and answer ultimate our public is there. Ya prentice sika de ama MPP for de ama se adapa ma ne de ato edem na se de ato edem mu dia head na sika na ma inflations ne ne ma ekoso and I don't think that as an honorable member no I will name the sika se mu ana so why deputy minister of finance no ebetimi akokwa sa asem ne ni nti no chama jena ye besre se ye nyina no oman ne ye kekere oman ne se na be ya oman ne be de e ba sa fa ne ntoma pa afira esan say ahunhihia ye komu no chama na enya agro ene mi tukwan ko Equatorial Guinea chama wonim say almost na nose mask no omu yusu Equatorial Guinea oh ko ho an mo do omu airport ani nose mask na nose mask mi no to o de bag Ghana scale mu a nose mask mi no e be 60 Ghana cedis enemre me kan na chama and ohwe omu aduane a chama e fu pa no e mo plate ne akoko nam kakra bi e da so o de bag Ghana scale mu be 150 Ghana cedis Enti baby anyone ma chama ajo. Baby anyone ma omo afa no to because the Bank of England ne other countries no ebre ewosika semu o share the way anema esikwa. I don't think say Ghana ye isolated country ye can say ye de COVID ne Ukraine as anema esisi ye no. Ye de ya fa ho tototo. Nti chama ne kan no pa ni say Bank of Ghana tene ye kan no omo nkoso no omo oman no na omonso mla out isan say enema ni bi wo hono se ne atike kan no mbetimi aba be chirichiri mu yie ama Ghana for atia se rather than say on betna hono na obia no be imagine say ade e course no ye no kure say ya print sika de ama BP for na say ya print sika e de akwa kogu obi mpasse a e de sa ho chire aba nie and Ghana chama je na wo hwe Ghana niema ekwa on say ya duane bo one of the contributing factors in our inflation.
Food inflation.
I'm telling you because
I must say World Bank cry can say and by the end of the year be cost from more.
Chairman, enyagro. But chairman me no kasi o share cocoa rehabilitation cocoa board. Omo year e the various districts na. Board here obetimi to be 15 Ghana cedis, 20 Ghana cedis a. E da hon money e ka tro say board here we 20 and 15 na. Chairman, onyini. But uba krum na se uba ba beto body no bitimi to be 70 Ghana cedis ni. Transport no doctor. Sempa na yeje. Because I don't think that body betting back. What on 20 e be ju be 20 Ghana cedis. E dey atuka mu say o the bank na say o the kokuma say. But when the day no say near o mine city no, you new control prices bia say ade no you control prices we. And I gave former agric minister be ye bizo or ton aduane wo. Minister wa me dem giri ze no no. Enya dia the only thing we need to do no chairman as I say yenso as a Ghanaians no ye hu say oman na chichire no enye na nado dan kwankwan enye ne vice na say enye ministers no ye nyina ka oman no ho ene ebe chichire senior Bible na kan Nehemiah chapter 4:6 no wo say na omu yi akoma mu chichire oman no koduru ba bia na omu hu say oman no afa fapim anasa afa no ntuma pa ede efra eze nyina ye nya mindset say ade a meye no dachi obebu hu nkonta nti se me pe profit be bless ade amakoto no 1 cedi me the bank ran na se kumase aba be ton 10 cedis a ye nyina no e ka ho na ma oman no ahonkyere ye de e ba nti chama mesre se oman no ne kikire ye no o ka ho me ka ho ese se me ye ma fom de me da se
me so me da se 104.3 Alex Tete o said that John Oboa
yes
we dey bear me din but me hear me home John Oboa
yeah
John Oboa Dr. Benny Mpwana
Chama betumi apon na mesre wa fidi kase de ekwachi
metie
second issue no ye be
madam for pa
some of them say am pointy
madam for pa me na nante ma akoye nua Evan Philip Teno kwa America ni fie na meti
utrinkwa
na ne papa ka baby
oh ndie
nti memenda bai George 9-10 ye na yie wodoyimu nti mabusia nyina ahya din sisi ami anka se abusia na meka ho nti yesre na adofo emejamie meboa na yempe papa no enkura na chi brebre
Medasi in the same breath of any other business, me papa Bako, Dr. Amuakun from Abinwaha. Dr. Amuakun says, Chairman General Benevolent Dictator, the National Health Insurance Authority, in my opinion, is bogus. Bogus in the sense that almost nothing is charged as premium. The result is that institution has no money to render the good quality health service we need as sick people sometimes. Tell us and let everybody know. Let us not politicize the NHIA. That authority should charge reasonable fees as premium so as to be able to provide good quality healthcare service. Dr. Mwako Abenwaha. Let me say, Dr. Mwako is an old man on pension. He's about 83 or 84 years old. So, Dr. Mwako, good morning. Thank you very much for your comments. Ati Kiampuana.
Chairman, with you, may who say Bank of Ghana see in the coming days they are going to even do an assessment of the effects of the interventions that Omoyama Abino. Now Obium say they had buffers that were resilient enough to undertake this. If Anka Omonim say yeah, like bank ni be guanka Omonya, they knew say recovery is possible. Until Omosi an assessment of the effects of science intervention will be shared with the public in the coming days, which I think is very helpful. But like I said, Governor, one describe it and characterize the demonstrators, in the manner he did now. I mean, it's just not acceptable. Me, I will support the idea of demonstration any day, because it's part of deepening your democracy. No, you can disagree with the content of their message. You can disagree with even why they are doing it. No,
and you can disagree with the Gbeshi.
With the Gbeshi that often enters people when they are
which entered Dr. Ankra this morning.
But to describe them in the manner he did, no, and I think say never might be so be chantem and it's a rubber patch. But me who say, German, there is showdown and bombshells in the MPP. Look, German, when you now show there is a serious leadership vacuum in the MPP. There is a serious leadership vacuum in the MPP. Now, NDC, NDC, MPP are not minimum. They were priding themselves as being Kusku intellectuals or Mudie, Akrachi, Fon, as if. German now is been taken over by those who can shout the loudest, those who can claim the Omo Sika, and those who can insult them more. That's what the MPP has been reduced to. And we are seeing that manifest in these elections and in these campaigns. The beef between the way cry and beef. Where the elephant meet between wouldn't Japan. I think they enjoy and these are isolated manifestations of the deep-seated power vacuum and our leadership vacuum. And the earlier they dealt with it, the better for them. They are going to an election, and almost primaries are a preceded election. No, so primaries no bet me go part in crowd before even the main election, and there seems not to be obia like a figurehead or Barbontin calling everybody to order. Can you know? You had the likes of J.H. Mensah, B.J. Darucha, and Odo Sykes, Harun Sekumu. They could call people to order, but says as a sub figureheads, you don't find them anymore. And Sebi Mampenya Nkasa is compromised. Until me, he can't call anybody to order. And Ama party appears to be on a cruise control. Somebody would promise you a bombshell, showdown, wire down. And look, if they allow this thing to go the way it is going now, Chairman, because they see threats and counter threats, Asha's here. And look, before Wuntumi became regional chairman, he was a friend.
I see.
Oh yes, Chairman, this is not the Wuntumi I knew. He's changed dramatically, and politics to me is Sanipa, but I told the Mimi Dadim. Look, he was one of the most respectful people you would ever meet. Chairman, very humble. And Nkrofo Munimno, like in his days as Hansel Mining CEO, you would know, say, look, he was anyway. But Nina say a lot needs to be done in the MPP. Otherwise, before 2024, after 2024, it would be difficult to refer to that entity as the political party they set up, because until they need to sit up and work on it.
Atik Mohammed made us say in the meantime before MPR Kontomra Bebemu. Yes, see, hey, Kwame, please, my big brother's birthday, Mr. Eric Carl Ajrako, formerly of Best Link Cocoa Buying Company, currently in Kofodia. So happy birthday to Mr. Eric Carl Ajrako. It's from your brother Williams Usu appear in Chicago, USA. Wishing you well. Once again, happy 60th birthday, 60 years and counting, to Mrs. Gladys Achia Aboaje. God bless you richly, from your husband, your children, and the entire family, as well as St. Monica's Old Girls Association. And then this one says, a belated one to Alexander Kwame Apia. Happy birthday, Alexander Kwame Apia, and a belated one, Mrs. Nana Apia of all of Alma Saman Fise is from Mamia Kusua Fusua Moose Timber Market. eno de eno ebreye anope. And then Akwesi in Amsterdam, aka Apio, aka Young Millionaire. Happy birthday, Akwesi in Amsterdam, aka Apio, aka Young Millionaire from Faisal Apia to you. MP Brem.
Yeah, Chamanja meda wasibi. Ne tie say MPP matters eba na ne you know. Chaman kakra meka ne say we internal elections yeah. And at the end of the day, no, the bigger picture is 2024, no. Any NDC and a office, other parties in India. Beka money market Kenya dia me causing upset in here. But say no as a party na internal contest, who say ya na obi bizazo uwia dia sem and I go country general public, you know. And the Bible ne can work Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 18 say whoever digs a pit may fall into it. And it's amrana
in the spirit power.
Amrana ye to know. Sa amrana ya hwe ya ye be kwakwa akotum. Na showdown meaning is between MPP and MPP. As a showdown between MPP and NDC. But at the end of the day no, ye kasa e kono abonten no, ye be sre ye party mpanyfo no. Ye nua ye bibia me senior Kene Japan and won to me Ashanti regional chairman say Ajobro Emra and here chairman general ye mubia ye di vice president achia waka on several occasions say on pese ne supporters and so what would in echi no obekasa atia MPP ni bia essence obia e kan asema kire delegates no and at the end of the day no delegates na e be kire o madu and chairman ye do bia na ye mu bi nso di ya se empanyfo ni bia e pre abano meti ye ma ye consultancy chairman be 14 na make ma be e ko be 8 years nti se ye kwoto aba me ya mintimi ndisade za so mesi we na me visit party no e be boy ama 8 na ye nyina ye preach na be break ana e no kwoto aba wia no bi akotena ba bi se ye to bi mu ye se ya hwe pie bi mu akose ye kwoto aba ma fa akone ye de ye hope ni ye bibia e fi se obitima break 8 no vice president and inti and a dinner chino and kasa or country delegates no nyensam o kan me giri se ato akoma so enya dia odi obi atem o kan ne party ne ba ya waye ne obetimi aye de abo party ne ye de aye konwa ne hye ne nsam a ne obetimi aye am ya break 8 no me fi se eno na be bo because ye wi a ehia MPP fo nyina ama abekan ho ma ye de aye campaign ti no ye be sre party mpanyfo no na minnim se party na institute disciplinary committee ya omoye adwuma ya papa amakwanta ne da no e be sere say party ba bia ya bo
amakwanta in roads minister okay
now the road minister on the chairman of the disciplinary committee near
okay
and the chairman American is a party ni hi obia party ni do obia ni ntina statement by and say ya papa line e free mu na mo bia nkasa nkere no
this will go
tu kwan ba waba
ayo
waba ntino ho no ne ohia ofa akọ no officer obinya
ayo chairman o asembia ya
chairman anobe mamincha minu aprekupe Dr. Matupoku Prempe
na po
atiki mami land na menchia agriculture minister chairman won ade ba ko a pese ya mo kai ye ho ne se o se ye tu kuku price mu no and is what be did say Cote d'Ivoire for price e be Ghana de no and na Cote d'Ivoire for a price in buy yeah chomo be almost 200 Ghana cedis but I don't need the day omo netie ne say hwe me ma ekuko adwuma me pratic for the past years no kuko newu yan take any measure say bit me yes
for the past
10 years near because yeah adwuma in 2009 mo e ba ne ni nyina na kuko ne ekofom and kuko ne wu na so wanua ati se wonya iye da se woye de oye two rehabilitation na ye no they say yeah mistakes bebria e ba mu ni
honorable ya be koko politics next week
Brian Champo na menchia medofo meyiri na number
hey ama ye channel pay o
chama I say everybody they chop for
very excited
say unim say me ye fumigation na so wo be ma me kwan a na obi ehia fumigation a omra me ho na me ne me workers a omo wo proper trading ye nya mom so obi pese ofre na through Peace FM a you man discount
Sharp.
Until with your permission, no, Nanka,
Doc, me brother, me
number near day
050
050
15
77
065.
065. Pure Lotto numbers. 80 fumigation ayi Dr. Ben say friend or say 050 15 77.
Thank you very much.
065. One says 77 ya baby. In the meantime, this one says a shout out to Joe Esa at the Scholarship Secretariat. Have a good day. Muslim Mpoana.
Chairman, you bet me up.
You bet me up. Yo, MP Akontomra, yeah, that's it. BOG Atik Mohammed, yeah, yeah, that's the other way. And Dr. Beno Triankra, it's almost 11 in the morning. Yes, Rexoma, wrapping up. Here we go. Kofi Kumbilson is next on your radio. The next news broadcast is at 12. May your day be blessed. Remember to keep your dreams and hopes alive is all you have. Shouting out to you, Kukua. Thank you very much. I see you out there this morning. Nana Ano Ami here, the second. Good morning, Nana. Nana Onkwaso. Piao. 4 days gone, one more to go. As always, my prayer for you is the book of Numbers in the Bible, Numbers 6:24-26, where it says very simply, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. We all know it's a tough world out there, but hey, still we rise. And so when you stop to say a prayer, remember to say one for me too. Good morning to you, Kojoti, New Jersey. God bless. Good morning.